So I am actually so nervous to film this video. It feels so vulnerable, honestly, but I wanted to share with you guys my most recent hyperfixation, which is I created a reading journal. So real quick, I do need to shout out a couple people because they're the main reason that I ended up taking this on and not letting it consume my life for the past 3 weeks. And that would be Christine from Crits Read, Katrina from Katrina Brown, and Kitty from Spicy Cats. They are amazing horror slash monster romance slash fantasy booktubers, and they just really motivated me to want to do this. So this is my very first time doing a reading journal. That being said, it is far from perfect. So if you are looking for a very aesthetically pleasing journal with a consistent theme throughout every page, this is not the journal. Every page is a little bit different. I've been messing with a lot of different techniques. I kind of slowly started to gain my confidence with each spread, so they're all very variable. I can't stick to one theme. I like too many different things. I like variation, so there's a lot going on. Things are different page by page, but I'm really excited. But I'm also very nervous. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So the journal I just got on Amazon. I could link it. I don't know what brand it is. Yap and Tom it looks like. I just liked the moon and it's just black. So I kept it pretty simple. So these journals do have, well, the first page has like who this notebook belongs to. I didn't even fill it out, but it has a key and an index, which I'm not using. And then my very first page, which is actually the last page I actually did, is just my little title page, just Sarah's 2024 journal. I kept it very simple and just printed a bunch of stuff and sticked a bunch of stuff on there. This is like one of my favorite stickers that I have, so I just really wanted to showcase it in the beginning. Little black and white theme going on with this page. I should have said this is going to be a reading journal slash planner. So my very first spread I did was a full year calendar, and I saw this from Christine. She does important dates, which I will do. I have to kind of go through. Right now I just have my husband's birthday listed, but I'm going to go through, and it's mostly just like calendar important dates, not so much focused on like reading important dates like readathons or stuff like that. This is really just kind of for my personal life, I guess, and personal important dates. Then this was my first more creative spread, I guess. I kind of went for a gothic theme. It's not my favorite. It doesn't look fantastic, but it is what it is. I've learned a lot since this spread. One thing I learned in particular was don't use Sharpie. I'm sure everybody's probably like, yeah, duh. Not me, I didn't know that. So all of these boxes I did with Sharpie, and I flipped the page and you could see all of them. So what I actually did was just glue the next 2 pages together, and we pretended that that didn't happen. So it does jump in numbers, you might notice when I go to the next spread. But I have all my reading goals, read 100 books, which I don't honestly care if I meet that. I should, but I don't care if I do. So then I just have all the boxes to fill out as I go. I'm probably just gonna fill it out with a solid color, no specific reason for it. This goal I do very much wanna hit, and that is to read at least 1 Kindle Unlimited book per month. I pay for Kindle Unlimited. I don't feel like I use it as much as I should. It's like 10, 12 bucks a month. I don't even know, honestly. So I'm paying for it and not using it. So I also added the little tracker there just because it's such a small tracker that I wasn't going to dedicate a whole page to it. So I'm just going to fill out each box as I go, and it's just January through December. So as long as I read 1 KU book, I fill that out. So hopefully I hit that goal. Another goal is to read more Fairy Loot slash book subscriptions. I am ashamed to say that in all of 2023, I did not read a single book that I received from Fairy Loot. And I switched my subscription so I get the adult and the YA fantasy each month, so I get 2 books a month. And I've yet to read a single one. Ashamed. I'm embarrassed. I know, it's a goal. If I don't read that many, I'm gonna cancel it. I just have FOMO, and I know that as soon as I cancel it, it will have a book that I actually wanted but what are you gonna do? The next goal is to utilize the library more and to buy less. Pretty self-explanatory. Next is to participate in more readathons. In the same vein is to participate in more book clubs as well. One of my goals is to read ARCs, which I have a spread to help kind of track that and keep that goal in check. Another one is to read short story collections. Again, I have that built into another tracker to help meet that goal. And then lastly, use this journal. This one I was so proud of when I did it. So this is my book log. I kept it pretty simple. This is just going to be all my books ever, and it's just kind of your classic one, title, author, format, and rating. And I did that kind of Dutch door, and I gave myself way more slots than I probably needed to, but it's okay. Maybe I'll use it in 2025. We'll see. So this is just kind of just one long running log. But that's very satisfying to me. It reminds me of elementary school. So, I mean, we'll see once I start using it if it still feels good and satisfying to me. But I had a lot of fun with this one. I felt really cool for finally using washi tape. This one is okay. Technically, it should be yearly stats at a glance. We're just going to ignore that. This is my first attempt at doing more of like scrapbooks. So this is all like cardstock, which really thickens up the paper. But it was kind of my attempt at doing that. So January through December, I will keep track of my books that I read, page number or like page count, which that data I will just extract from Storygraph. I will keep track of how many of those books that I read were actually on my TBR, how many included LGBTQ representation or authors, how many included BIPOC or Indigenous representation or authors, how many were from the library, which will help me track that goal, how many were physical, audio, ebook, how many I DNF, which is another goal of mine, is to DNF more, but I didn't actually write that down. And then I will pick a favorite book of the month and just write it in there. I was gonna do like a favorite book bracket, but I just kind of decided not to. So this is my series tracker, and this is probably my least favorite spread. It was just very uninspired, honestly, and I just went into it with zero plans, and this is what came out of it. It's not horrible, it's just like I said, uninspired, so it's just kind of like lame to me. And I have since seen people do kind of the name of the series, and then underneath they'll write out each title, and I kind of like that better than just these simple boxes, so then you know what each of these boxes technically represents. But what are you gonna do? I filled out in black the books that I've already read from those series, so then when I read them in 2024, I will fill it out in a different color, and hopefully not, but if some of these series lead into 2025, then those will eventually get filled out with a different color as well. And then I have some space because I definitely want to start some new series in 2024 as well, so I left myself some space for that. This is my Fairy Loot tracker. So I just have a list of all the Fairy Loot books I receive, and hopefully I will start filling out this column and have some of those read. I left it blank a little bit here. I think I might end up printing out some of these book covers and putting them here, maybe the ones that I read. I'm not quite sure yet. I wanted to keep it open though for possibilities. You'll notice here one of my mistakes. I was trying to do like that drop shadow effect, and then on this one I accidentally picked up the wrong gray, so it was super dark, but you can't really tell unless I point it out. Okay, this one, I'm so proud of this because it wasn't inspired by anything. I just thought of it in my brain, and that made me so happy because I don't really consider myself a creative person, which is another reason why I held myself back from doing a journal for so long, because I just wanted everything to always be perfect, and I knew that it wouldn't be, so I just didn't even bother. But now I'm just accepting it's not. But this one I just like thought of, and I loved it so much. So we got like a 80s 70s vibe going on. Like I said, I want to read more ARCs. I very recently signed up for NetGalley, so I'm gonna keep track of all the ARCs that I get. I'm not gonna worry about the ones that I get denied if I get denied any of them. I'm just gonna worry about the ones that I actually get. and write down the information for that: title, author, publication date, and rating. And then I made these little like Polaroid pictures, and if a book really speaks to me and I kind of want to write more about it, I'm going to print out a picture of the book, put it in the Polaroid, and write out some thoughts and my rating, whatever I feel like I kind of want to do with it when that time comes. Here's another little mistake. I accidentally drew that line a little bit too long. What are you going to do? And then I did kind of continue it on this page to give myself a little bit more room, because I knew that this page was only going to take one. So this page I'm also really proud of, and I'm super excited. This has like a 2000s vibe going on, arcade style. This is my reading in pixels, so I created a daily reading log, which we'll see how I do. I think I'll like it. But it will mostly be to track how much I'm reading for my physical books, because I do listen to audiobooks a lot, but I don't know how many pages it equates to, and I don't care enough, honestly. So this is mostly just going to count for my physical books that I'm reading. So as you can see, the keys, I split it up from 1 to 50 pages, 51 to 100, 101 to 150, and then 151 plus. Some days I only listen to my audiobooks, so I just made a slot for audio only, or if I'm unsure of page number, I'll just do that. Whatever, it doesn't have to be perfect. Then down here, I did a genre tracker, so I'm just gonna fill it in as I go. I was really debating what genres to include for a very long time, because I didn't want to include too many and overwhelm myself, but horror and fantasy I knew had to be included. I did end up choosing romance. I don't know why. I don't really ever read strictly romance, but maybe this will be my year. Lit fic, which will also kind of serve as I don't know where else to put this. Nonfiction, because I do read a decent amount of memoirs. And then here I included short story collections, so then I can track that goal built into this. Here is my 24 and 24 page. I really like the way it turned out. It surprisingly took so long, even though everything is just cut and glued or cut and stuck. I did get sticky papers, so I just printed these book covers onto sticker paper and cut them out and put them in here. But these letters and numbers and this holographic ended up taking me so long because I had to cut them by hand, and my X-Acto knife was very dull, and then I needed to find little scissors. It turned into way bigger of a project than I thought it would be. I thought it was just gonna be cut and stick. The cutting took a while. But anyways, I really like the way this turned out though. I didn't want it to just be like straight lined. I wanted to be a little bit more flowy, a little bit more free form. So yeah, and then once I read them, which hopefully I do read all of these, I will either just write in like black ink the stars underneath each, or I did end up buying these like holographic iridescent star stickers. So I might use these, or I might save these specifically for like the 5-star books. I don't know, because it just kind of goes with the letters and numbers, but we'll see once we get there how I'm feeling. Then next I did a spread for just my 5-star reads throughout the year. I'm really excited. I hope I fill this out. I made enough spaces for 17 5 stars. I don't tend to have that many. I think this year I had 12. So I hope to fill this out. I won't be mad at all if I have to insert like another slot or insert an extra page. But I do like the way that this turned out. All of this like washi tape and these stickers are all from the same company. They are all from this company called Paper Haunt. I found them on Etsy, but they have like Instagram and all of that. Really love their stuff. Not sponsored, obviously, but just wanted to shout them out because I really like their creepy stickers. So that's my 5-star reads spread. So this spread is very minimalistic, and I really like the way it turned out. I do still have to transfer my video ideas to this page. I just have a running note on my phone, so I have to transfer all that information into here. But I would say that this vibe, I kind of feel like I channeled Tori from Tori Between Pages. She has such beautiful handwriting and very, I don't want to say like minimalistic in a bad way or in a boring way, but her style is very clean, minimalistic. So her spreads are amazing. If you haven't seen hers, just wonderful, beautiful, glorious. I wish I had the handwriting she has and the aesthetic she has, but like I said, I'm a gal of variations. So my video ideas, fun. And then I do have a little tracker of my media growth, and I will just keep track of YouTube subscribers and Instagram followers. I really want to get more active on my Bookstagram. I'm just really bad at taking pictures and staging pictures. I break out in a sweat every time I'm trying to set up a picture. It is so much harder than it seems, at least for me, maybe not anybody else, but I do want to get more active on my Bookstagram account. I just feel like you can connect with people way more immediately because YouTube is only so often depending on when you upload. So I like being on Instagram to connect with people super quickly. So I love this spread. Okay, so this spread I just titled Moody. I wanted to have somewhere with a list of books that might feed into a particular mood I might be in. So I created 4 categories. I have A24 vibes. So this is gonna be books that are weird, bizarre. A24 might make a film out of it, that kind of thing. Just A24 vibes. I don't know how else to explain it. I have one for otherworldly. So this will include books about aliens, sci-fi books, dystopian books, just kind of that vibe. Here I have survivor horror because I really want to read more of it. So I made that. And then I have one for in my feels. So this will just be any book that if I'm feeling super emo, I'm in my feels, I need a tearjerker or I need grief horror, something that's really emotional. I have this category for. So in each of these envelopes, I have 2 lists. I have a list of TBRs, so books that I think will fit the bill, will fit that mood, and a list of books read. So if I want to recommend stuff to people that I've already read and I feel like fits the vibe, I have a running list of that as well. Because one of my kind of background goals for 2024 is to also start creating more recommendation videos of kind of more niche subgenres. And yeah, so that'll help me kind of keep track of that. And I really like how this spread ended up turning out. I kind of decided I wanted to use this cherry paper and just went from there. Kind of became a little bit retro feeling, but I really like it. I enjoyed it. This next spread, I'm so happy about. I love this spread so much. This is another one where I just kind of got creative and I just thought of it and I went for it and I'm so obsessed and I love it. So this is my Divine Feminine page. If you're new here, hello, hi, thank you for clicking on my video. If you're not new here, you know that I absolutely love books that deal with women-centric stories, books that have unhinged women, books that focus on female rage, motherhood, just feminine energy, what we deal with as women. I love it built into horror. I love it built into lit fic. I love it. So I created this spread to really commemorate that. I kind of had this idea of doing, you know, the duality of woman. And this is the duality of my womanhood. I'm very moody, dark, and gothic, but I can also be very pink, bubbly Barbie, and I love it. I love tapping into both energies. I love whatever feminine energy you have. This is how I decided to express my feminine energy. And in here, I created these little library cards, which say Library of Hot Bitches, and there's all these different categories. So I have one that says motherhood / sisterhood. So these are books that explore that topic. I have one that says good for her. I have one that goes into beauty, one for just straight up unhinged, one for female rage, and I have a couple of empty ones for if I think of any other very specific subgenres. So I will kind of write in books that I've already read that fit the bill and write in books that I want to read that I think will fit the bill. So I included that in those, and I just really love this so much. I love these stickers. These stickers I did get on an Etsy shop. I'll link down below. This is my favorite painting ever to exist. So I love it so much. But it is very thick. This is cardstock. So if I did it again, I'd probably use like thinner paper. This particular part of my journal is just bulging between this page and this page. So hopefully the binding is nice and tight. I'm really putting it to the test with these 2 pages. This next page I left blank for now, but I think what I'm gonna do with it is kind of sticker bomb it with stickers I like and stickers of books that feed into the Divine Feminine page. If there's a book that I read this year that I particularly like that is featured on this page, I probably will print out a sticker and put it on here too. It's just gonna be sticker bombed, just again dedicated to that women-centric literature. And then next is my January month. So like I said, this is gonna be my planner too. So each month I'm definitely gonna have a full page dedicated to the calendar because that's the way I need it to be. So yeah, here's this one. And then I did go ahead and start doing my January reading spread. I did my TBR. I have it split up from book clubs, videos, so books that I plan to read specifically for videos, probably a reading vlog, and then just other hopefuls that I want to get to. This whole spread exists simply because I wanted to use this sticker. I think it's so stinking cute. So this whole spread was built around this sticker. And then I put books read. So these are gonna be the books I actually do read because I tend not to stick very well to my TBR, and I kind of tend to leave room for other books that I'm in the mood for, or audiobooks that just happen to become available to me through my Libby app. So I have 8 slots there now. I have room for 2 more. I'll cover this if I need to. It's whatever. I'm not taking it too serious. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I did keep a little spot for my favorite quote. Hopefully it will be a favorite quote from a book that I read in January. If I can't find a quote I like, I guess I'll just find any quote on the internet that I like about books or something like that, but that's kind of the idea there. And then I did technically sketch out my stats page, but I didn't do it in pen yet because I'm just gonna kind of wait and see and do my stats page closer to the end of the month when I'm gonna gather all that information. I think I'm gonna do just like total books, average rating. I'll do a pie chart of format and a pie chart of moods. Again, I'll just get that information from Storygraph. And then a little genre tracker here just because I had a blank page, and I'll probably just like copy it exactly how it is in Storygraph because Storygraph will break it down a little bit more than just having the book to one genre. It will kind of include the overlapping genres throughout the books. So I'll probably have the exact Storygraph one in here versus like in my previous genre tracker, I'm only going to try to count 1 genre for each book just so it doesn't get confusing, but we'll see. Again, the genre one's hard because I feel like there's so many books that overlap genres, so it's really hard for me to kind of pinpoint one specifically sometimes. But yeah, so that's it. I'm just gonna do each month. Each month will be different. Again, I love a variety, so this isn't gonna be strictly how I do each month. I'm gonna change it up every month and continue to experiment and see what I really like out of this journaling experience. I've had so much fun doing it so far. It feels really good to have a creative outlet despite not feeling like a creative person at all. I found that I can be creative, and when I really tap into it, it is so rewarding. I've had just such a blast. I have watched so many videos of other people's journals. I kind of need to stop because so many people create the most perfect journals ever. They have one little theme throughout the whole thing, and it's absolutely stunning and gorgeous, and I love it for them, but I just can't do it. I like to switch it up. I can't stick to one format. So this is my reading journal. Lots of mistakes, lots of lessons learned. I know this is very different content from what I usually post, but thank you so much for being here and clicking in my video. I truly appreciate you spending some of your time with me while I talk about my reading journal. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day wherever you are.